Today we're taking a look at the Coast Duo. This is a rather unique device from Irie AT that offers very portable, lightweight video magnification, both for distance viewing and close-up viewing. So stick around. When we come back, we'll take a look at what comes with the Coast Duo, and then we'll see it in action. My name is Sam, this is The Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. Before we get started, a huge thank you to Irie AT for sending out this demo unit so I could make this video for you guys. After the video, if you need more information, check out all of the contact links listed in the video description down below. Fun fact, the word Coast in Coast Duo is actually an acronym, and it stands for Camera on a Stick. And that is essentially what it is. Now the Duo in Coast Duo is because this camera on a stick plays double duty as a distance camera, a very capable distance camera, but using some of these accessories that we get, you can also utilize it as a very capable close-up desktop video magnifier. By itself though, we have a camera at the top here. The camera is on what's called a ball head, which means it can move in all different directions or be tightened down and locked in place. We have about a 3-foot or 1 meter USB Type-C cable coming out of the camera. This is for attaching it to a wide variety of devices, including Windows computers, Macs, Chrome computers, and even iPads. The camera is on a tripod here, an integrated tripod, and can even extend out, very similar to a selfie stick. And this offers a lot of great options for getting the camera in the perfect position to see what you're trying to see. We also have a weighted base and a desk clamp. Once again, just giving you several different options for using the Coast Duo. You can set the tripod into this little round base here, and this is like an adapter that will work with both the desk mount and the heavy base, the weighted base. And you can just click it into place, and now you can use it with either option. Now the real benefit of this is that when it's on the base or on the desk mount, you can now tilt it forward and then use the ball head here to position the camera down, and now we have a very capable desktop video magnifier. And because it can extend, you can have a lot of room down here for whatever you need to work on. Looking a little closer at the camera itself, the lens has a cover over it to protect it when you're not using it, but you can just pop that right down to expose the lens. And then on top we have 2 buttons. These are for zooming in and out with the integrated optical zoom that the camera has. All right guys, now we have the iPad connected to the Coast Duo. On the iPad here, this app that we're running is called Read It Lite. When you launch the application, it turns on your camera here. You can see that it is working. I've got the Coast Duo in what I'm going to be calling desktop configuration. That is at an angle with the telescopic arm extended and the camera pointing down at my document. This gives me a lot of space down here to work with. You can imagine how this is going to be great for filling out paperwork, looking at large photo albums. You're going to have a lot of room to do that. But let's take a look at the application and go through all the different features. First things first is we can digitally zoom in using our pinch to zoom on the iPad. That works, and I can move the image around to read it. Of course, I could move the paper around as well, and it is very responsive. However, as I mentioned before, the Coast Duo also has an optical zoom. Zooming in with the optical zoom and then using digital zoom can give you a very wide range of magnification. We have some controls down at the bottom, although we can customize that. First things first is I can adjust the theme, the color theme. Right now I have it going with the system, which is inverted, but I can also choose a light theme here. And that just changes our menus and our icons into this light theme, black text on a white background. But that doesn't work for me. I prefer the inverted white text on a black background. Then the other 2 options are for the icons. We can adjust the size of the icons By default, it's set to the number 2, but we can go all the way up to 6. And now we have much, much larger icons. And you might be thinking, okay, they're bigger, they're easier to see, but they're completely blocking the image. No problem. If you just tap on the screen, the icons go away and you can zoom and read what you need to without the icons being in the way. Tapping on the screen brings them right back. For now, we will put them back to the number 2 so that they're all in a single line at the bottom. And by default, they are at the bottom, but we can also change that. Maybe we want them at the top here. And now the icons are along the top edge of the screen. Same thing though, when I tap, they go away. Tap, they come right back. Right next to that menu icon is our colors. Tapping on that icon cycles through our colors. We only have a couple color filters selected right now, but if I long press that icon, we get a list of a bunch of other color combinations that we can choose. Then we can have those in the list of color filters we can choose from. Next, we have 2 contrast buttons, a plus and a minus. So increasing contrast, decreasing contrast. Next to that button, we have some different modes. We'll come back and talk about that. Then we have a rotate button. This just rotates our image around. A skew button, which is not active right now in this specific mode. So we'll come back and talk about that as well. Then we have a freeze button, which will freeze the image. A button that will take a quick screenshot. Then something that's really cool, we have a record button. So when I press that, now we are recording. We're recording a screen capture. So whatever I do here is going to be recorded, and I can come back later and watch it, pull it up, and revisit this video later. We have some controls at the top. I can hit the stop button to stop it, or I can just press that button again. Then we have a button to switch to the front-facing camera of the iPad here. Hello, there we go. And then the final button here lets us choose some different video formats. You have several to choose from here, and some of them specifically are going to be ideal for low light situations. Now, the Coast Duo is also going to be great for colors. Of course, we're looking at our ElfQuest. This is book 4, one of my favorite books. We call it the White Book, but just a fantastic image, especially paired up with the iPad here that has just an amazing screen. The Coast Duo just makes a fantastic image. Yeah, just great. Okay, I've set it to distance viewing, and okay, first of all, rare glimpse behind the curtain here. You see my entire work area over there and incredibly wide field of view. I was just gonna zoom in on my computer screen, which is only about 10 feet away from me there, but insanely wide field of view. I can see my light over there. I can see all the way over that way. First, let's zoom in using the optical zoom. And that's my computer over there. I just have one of my website pages pulled up, and now I can zoom in with the digital. And so on a computer screen about 15 feet away, I'm able to zoom in enough to read that really, really well. That's pretty impressive. Now I want to demonstrate this skew button down here. So I've angled my monitor so that we're kind of looking at it at an angle here. You can imagine that maybe there's a student sitting in a classroom and they're not sitting perfectly straight on with the front board. They're sitting off at an angle. Traditional magnifiers, zooming in, they're gonna have this skewed angle because they're looking at the board at an angle. But we have this button down here, this skew button, and if I tap that, then we get these colorful dots on here, and what we're gonna do is we're going to line those up with the corners. All right, I think I got them. In the middle, we have an X and a check mark. I want to tap the check mark, and there you go. It digitally fixes the angle so that now we are looking at this straight on and there's no distortion. And now I can zoom in and I'm able to read this and look at this as if we were sitting right in front of this, looking at it straight on. This is a super cool feature. I think it's gonna be extremely helpful for students or someone watching a presentation. Definitely gonna come in handy. Now I've turned the camera towards myself and you see that I'm kind of upside down and the orientation isn't quite right, but I can tap our mode button here and jump into mirror mode. And now it's pointed at me correctly and I can zoom in. I can zoom in on the screen here. So maybe I could trim up my beard. If I wore makeup, I could put on my makeup. And then once again, a great image on that iPad screen. Ta-da! And of course, with mirror mode, I could also just pop out the integrated tripod stand here. Maybe need to angle the camera a little bit, but there we go. That's a lot of beard on screen right there. Okay guys, so that was a look at the Coast Duo. If you would like to learn more, of course, I will have contact information in the video description down below. Huge thank you once again to Irie AT for sending out this demo unit and letting me borrow it for a short time so I can make this video for you guys. If you have any questions about the Coast Duo, let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them. But really, the best way to get information about this would be to reach out to Irie AT. Once again, I'll have their contact information also in the video description. If you found the video helpful, be sure to hit the like button. And if you think this video would help someone else, then click the share button down below as well. If you would like to stay up to date with all the latest cutting edge assistive technology, then make sure you are subscribed to The Blind Life and turn on those bell notifications so you'll be updated every single time I put out a video, which is generally every single week. If you want to learn more about me and everything Blind Life, definitely check out the website, theblindlife.net. You can also reach out to me through the website. And don't forget to follow me on all the other social medias, including checking out the podcast, The Blind Life Podcast, available on all your podcast platforms. But that is it for this one, guys. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next one.